Oh yeah, 150 subs. That means only one thing. 150 subs special. Alright, so 2 weeks ago, which is when I released this video, something like that, I said something like, oh, I don't really like displays, I don't like GPUs or dabbling in them. However, that made me think, let's dabble in GPUs. So, I was having a look at this serial display, and it was pretty cool, so I decided, how about make like just a normal display, and see what I can do. So, I went through designing several, and this is what I came up with over here for actually like displaying pixels, because it's very hard to get something in a 2x2 space is what you have to work with, because it's only a 2x2 pixel. And so the only way you could do it easily is to expand and go out like this and bring this one up and this one down, so you get extra space. And this is what I come up with. It's 2 wide and 4 tall. However, I wanted to see if there's something smaller, and I went on the internet, and of course I found something, which is this amazing thing right here. So as you can see, this is properly stackable in the x-axis, widthways, yes. However, lengthways on the y-axis, it's not properly stackable. It's kind of stackable, but I fixed the stackable part, and I think I fixed it. So, and that is how I made massive displays like this, and I'll show them off in a minute. However, I need to give credit where credit is due. This is not my design, it is by LPG, and here is the YouTube video where he shows it off. And it is really amazing because it is a perfect pixel plotting display. You can select a y-axis, and you can also select an x-axis, and it just plots it just like that. And you can plot multiple on the same display, just like that. And it's very cool. And then you can turn the inputs off, and then you can just say, I don't want anything on the display anymore, reset it, and then you just reset it. With this design you can't reset individual pixels, however you can reset just the x-axis in individual columns, though there probably is a fix to resetting individual pixels, but yeah, enough of that. But basically you can stack it like this. It stacks really well and is very nice. However, as I said, it doesn't really stack properly x-axis, because of y-axis even, because eventually it runs out of signal strength on these signals. Cables? Yeah, signals. I don't even know what to call them. So what I did, I went and built all of this, and no, I did not build it by hand. I kind of built the first part by hand, then gave up, and then used structure blocks to fill in the rest by just cloning it. And then I managed to get this display, just like this, and it is a 16x16 display, so you can have two 4-bit inputs, because you can display the numbers 0 to 15 on it. The way I fixed this problem with the signal strength was running out was this display over here, and I did that by just adding like redstone torches in. So whenever the signal strength runs out, over here I just had like some redstone torches up here. I had to mess with a few things, like with extra repeaters in certain places, as you can see, whenever there's redstone torches, so it wouldn't break the system, and several other stuff, but I managed to get it working, and it works perfectly. You can have two 4-bit inputs, so we're going to go with this number and this number. I don't know which way they go round. Hit the right command, and as you can see, it writes that thing. I can't remember which one it was, but it really doesn't matter. And then of course you have your reset line as well, which should reset the display just like that. So then I was thinking, what could I do with a nice pixel plotting display? And coincidentally, in one of my maths lessons I was doing, we were just looking at some of the old stuff we had done, and one of the stuff we had done was linear graphs. And I thought, I wonder how easy it is to make a linear graph drawer. And the basic equation behind a linear graph is quite simple. It is y equals mx plus c. And that basically means the gradient times the x value plus the y-intercept or the offset value equals your y-axis. So say if m equals 2, c equals 1, let's say, then you can draw up a truth table where, say, if x equals 1, for instance, y would equal 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 1 is 3. So if x equals 1, then y equals 3 for the equation y equals 2x plus 1. And say if x equaled a different value, say if x equals, say, how about 3, for instance, then y would equal, that would be 3 times 2, which is 6, plus the 1 from the c, which would equal 7. So as you can see, there is a correlation. And that got me thinking, it should be pretty easy to come up with an algorithm for this, as all it requires is addition and multiplication. Multiplication is actually very annoying. It's not too hard, but it's still extremely annoying. I just never really got it, but I was going through some tutorials, one from Lee Serial, and he came up with this, and I looked at it, I built it millions of times. I mean, you only see 3 attempts here. This was like, I built this millions and millions of times because I keep getting it wrong and stuff, but I managed to do it in the end. And basically this multiplication method works by ANDing all the inputs. So say I wanted to do 2 times 4, that would be, I think this is 1. This is the least common. So 2 times 4, and every digit, it would just come up with 8. This is 8, and then it would go through, and it would equal 8. So 1, 2, 4, 8 on here. But say let's go 2 times 5, it would be 8 and 2. And then you'd have to add them together to equal 10 on the output. As you can see, 1, 0, 1, 0. And yeah, this is a pretty neat multiplication method. However, it gets like exponentially large the more bytes you have. This is only a 3-bit one that I've really compacted down, like really compact. This is super compact, like, because the actual multiplication circuit is all of this right here, and this is compact because I've only used half adders in certain bits. I've done some trickery from rerouting the wires. I used this little thing that I come up with to reroute them, which is a very compact circuit. There's a lot of things that I did to make this a lot smaller, and this is the larger one over here, and this is the smaller version over here. So there is a significant difference, as you can see, in size. However, this is only 3 bits. 4 bits would be an additional thing, 5 bits would be an additional thing, and as you can see, if you did it up to 8 bits, it would be like all the way up here, and it would be stupidly long and stupidly, yeah, just massive, and it's not nice. The other multiplication method I can see is either by doing it by actual software, because this is a hardware method. This uses actual components to multiply. A software method would be by using an algorithm with just a standard ALU to multiply it. So if you did 2 times 4, you'd basically just add 2 to itself like 4 times, basically, as in that would be a software method. However, that's just really annoying because it makes your computer take a lot longer, as well as having a massive amount of program memory needed. So I just used this because it is smaller. The other one that I can think of is the carry look everywhere adder multiplier thingy-majiggy by Benny's Cube. It's a lot smaller and it's vertical instead of horizontal like this, so you have vertical inputs, which can be a bit annoying, but it's very, very, very compact compared to one of these, and it's extremely fast, much faster than these as well, because of course, yeah, very fast adders. So, yeah, so I decided to put this into an algorithm with this display and a computer which I had to design, and this is what I came up with. It's not the smallest thing in the world, but it's not extremely big everywhere. I did cut some corners, and there are a few errors with it because of I cut some corners and I couldn't be bothered to do 4-bit multiplication. I only did 3-bit multiplication. Aha! That is one of the errors that I have spotted in this. That was why it wasn't working when I was testing it in my previous recording. This is the second take because the first one failed miserably because there was that error apparently. But yes, it works and it's very compact. So basically here is your ALU, you have your adders as well as your multipliers. You have your program memory over here. With my programming, I'll probably like list it out in a comment or a description or something. And then you have your program counter, blah blah blah, your clock over here, and you also have RAM as well as ROM. You actually have some ROM in this for your two inputs, for your gradient and for your y-intercept. You actually have two 3-bit ROM inputs. They could have been 4-bit, but who cares. And then you only have 3 bits of RAM over here. 3 bits, 3 nibbles of RAM actually, because they're only 4 bits each. And so 1.5 bytes of RAM. So 3 cells of RAM. Okay, I've been going off on a tangent there. So yeah, I guess without further ado, let's give this a demo. So the first one I'm going to be putting in is y equals x. So of course you have to set x as 1 because 0x is not the same as 1x. And that should just produce a nice diagonal line from 0, 0. Going up all the way, apart from this section because this section just doesn't work, so I forgot to add it into the multiplier, and hopefully this will work. So yeah, I guess let's try it out. So I'm just going to clock it once while it's off just to reset everything, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to speed it up of course because it's extremely slow from this long clock. It's not too slow, I'm just going to speed up a bit. I haven't clocked it properly, so it may be able to go faster than this. However, it takes a very, very long time to clock it, and I cannot be bothered to do that. So it's going to remain at this clock speed for now. And in the world download, because I will include a world download in the description as usual, it will be clocked at this as well. So let's turn it on. And as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lines in total, but only 10 lines per display command. And the first line is just an initialization, like resetting certain stuff. So yeah, I guess it's turned on, and now I guess, yeah, time for a time lapse. So yeah, also thank you ever so much for 150 subscribers. That's extremely nice. So yeah, time-lapse time. So apparently it's still broken. Yeah, that's a bit embarrassing. I'm just gonna go onto the other world where I know it actually works, onto the actual world download. This is embarrassing, but oh well, that's a shame. We're just going to go onto the world download. So there we go, we're on the world download now, and as you can see I already have 2 graphs loaded. I actually have the x equals y, I mean y equals x loaded, and I also have y equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, y equals 4 and x equals, and y equals x loaded on this. Of course I could have gone more on this one, but it just took a long time to load it, and this one actually works surprisingly. So it's very nice in a void world, and I guess let's start this thing up. So the first thing you have to do when doing it is, I guess, clear the display, And that's as simple as going over to here and hitting the clear button. And now the display is clear. Then you want, I have provided like several instructions on there, but who cares. Then you want to go over to here. So from your spawn area, there are some instructions, but they're not very good. You go all the way over down to the clock, which is this thing over here. And to turn it on, first of all, you have to input your values. So you have your gradient and you have your y-intercept, nicely labeled in binary. So for our gradient, we're just going to hit 1. And for our y-intercept, we're going to hit 0. Because we want this to just be y equals x. So it's technically y equals 1x, because you couldn't do y equals 0x. That's just a straight line on the bottom. So y equals 1x should be a nice diagonal line going all the way up like that. Then once you've input your stuff, you're going to want to head over to this line, which I'm actually going to label right now. And this is your on-off switch. Ta-da! Nice. And this is your clock. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit it on. And it should be on this line, which is line 0. If it's not on this line and on a different line, you're going to want to turn it off, go all the way over to here, hit this on till those repeaters all light up. So just wait like 2 seconds to 5 seconds, then turn it off. And then when you hit it back on, it should definitely be this line. If it's not, just do it again. And then, so once you've hit this on like this, right, and this line is off, then you're going to want to come over to clock and you just turn it on. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And then you can go over back to your platform and actually have a proper time lapse now. So hopefully this one will work. Yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, see you if after it finishes or if it breaks. So, as you can see, it has plot out a nice line with the thingy as y equals x, and as you can see is a direct correlation. So if x equaled say 2 for instance, y would also equal 2, and that's nice. And I didn't finish all the way because remember I did 3-bit multiplication, not 4-bit. And so it won't plot here, it will actually plot all the way down here and go all the way up. But that's because I was kind of lazy and I didn't really know it would impact it this way. Any other graph that you do, say 2x plus something, won't have that issue because it all the way goes up to here and really doesn't need this bit. Anyway, so yeah, I guess the next thing to do is to actually show you that you can do like different things on it. So say I'm going to do another graph going all the way up here, and I'm also going to have a graph going through them. As you can see, it plots down there. So let's turn this off before it plots anymore. So the way you turn it off is you turn the clock off, right? Then you turn the thingy off, whatever it's called. And then once you've done that, you come over here and then you clock it once, just like that, to reset it back to the first line. And so now we're going to choose a different thing. So I thought, I guess we could do 3x plus 3, and that should start it 1, 2, 3. It should start up here and be 3x plus 3. and that should give us a nice looking graph. So 3x is pretty simple, so that's just 3x, and then 3 should just be that as well. And so we'll do a time lapse for that, and once we do that, I will also do a straight line graph through all of this all the way to the end. Maybe, it depends on how much time I have left, and we'll see if that properly works. So yeah, actually, you know what, who cares, it works like this. So if it shows 3x plus 3 and I can show it does different graphs, then it should work and it'll be fine. So let's start this off. So first of all, turn it on, and then you turn the clock on, and I'll just do a time lapse till it reaches from wherever it starts all the way up till it goes off the graph. So yeah. So, as we can see, it has plotted that graph, and I'm just going to stop it before it plots another point, because we only want it plotting up to there. And I'm actually going to remove this one bit, because it's kind of annoying now. And I can just go lever. And since there's a repeater here, it won't affect any of these bits, hopefully. And so if I just reset it, it should only reset this one. Yes, perfect. So as you can see, we have our graph, and this equation is y equals 3x plus 3. And that's what it is. It's y equals 3x plus 3, because 0, 1, 2, 3. The y-intercept's 3, 0, 3, as you can see. And it gets plussed. Yeah, it just works, as you can see. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'm actually going to leave these examples on here in the world download. So yeah, thank you ever so much for 150 subscribers. And yeah, I guess hope you like this and hope you have fun just seeing how it works and stuff. I also, of course, include how I coded this and yeah, what code I put into it in the description as well if you wanted to see some of that. So yeah. As usual, I guess please like and subscribe, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you all in the next one.